Hey everyone, welcome back to another exciting episode of Attack and Production. Today I Bancroft are being joined once again by Fluff, and like always, wait, I got that backwards. Once again by Jake, and like always, Fluff. Wow.
What's going on, y'all?
What's up, people?
And today we're actually in our finals. Jake is piloting the Broly swap deck today, like he did last week, and Fluff has brought back Toppo Lock.
Yeah, kind of a weird amalgamation of a build, so we'll see.
So
very, very experimental.
And like always, if you all enjoyed the content, hit that like, subscribe, click those buttons, all the fun stuff that is there to be enjoyed with YouTube's interactions of blah. And let's get into this duel. So, guys, what's going on?
It's another Sunday, another night of recording duels with my good buddies, and we've got Red Broly and Yellow Toppo Lock going up against each other. Looks like both of us sent 4 cards back to the hand. So we're going to try and smooth things out a bit. And are we past 30 seconds?
Yes.
This game is an absolute ass greaser. So stay tuned, you guys.
Yeah, this was a good game. I've been wanting to bring Toppo Lock back. I've been playing blue a lot, and I've been trying to change it up the last few weeks. We've got a lot of people at the shop playing green. We've got a lot of people playing red. There was a lot of people playing blue, but there weren't many people playing yellow.
Which I think everyone picked up on that at once, because every one of my games this week was against a yellow leader.
Yeah. I really think that I'm going to retire. I think I'm going to back off yellow. I have one more kind of like reiteratory version of Toppo Lock that I want to try. But I kind of think I want to back off of it for a little bit.
So here I just hit Tournament Pack Broly and go get this 3-drop with the free play Ba and swap into it and pass to Fluff.
Yeah. At this point, I'm kind of thinking, like, depending on what happens on Jake's next turn, I could be in store for a very bad time on this next turn. So I have to try to make this first turn count as much as humanly possible, try to set up as much as possible. I don't think he can kill me. He can definitely hurt me with the crit pressure. So I'm basically just hanging on. I don't think at this point I had a negate in hand. Otherwise, I would have probably held that energy open for something like a Flying Nimbus. Losing that slug to the Piccolo Jr. felt bad, but also okay.
Yeah, not the worst thing in the world that can happen. So here I finish out my chain by casting Tournament Pack Broly again. Broly Astonishing Potential is the card's actual name, if you guys hate me calling it TP Broly, but that's just like much faster to say than Astonishing Potential.
I didn't even know it was called Astonishing Potential, honestly. Like, I would have had to look that up to synthesize it off the top of my head. So here you make me rip a card out with the 4-drop. So I drop the Mecha Kubora because that's not live for another 3 turns on my end. So it's definitely not doing me any help in the hand. Everything else in hand could potentially come up.
So better to warp the Unison. No combo power. Can't cast it. I think it's a perfect target for that.
Yeah. You hit me with crit here.
On the leader swing, yeah.
On the leader swing. I would have had to combo 3 or burn a super combo plus another card to not take that. So it just felt more advantageous to just take it.
Yeah, I would agree with that play. Here it looks like you're counting up how much else is going to come at you this turn.
Yeah. I'm expecting a 5-drop.
Yeah, I go ahead and board it. I know with your deck, I can only play, once you get online, I can only play 1 battle card a turn. So I tried to swarm the board as much as I possibly could in my early turns to have something in play when the attrition war started.
Yeah. And I was actually thinking about comboing out of that. And then I looked down and saw it was 30,000 and just noped out of that and just had to take it. I don't know why you didn't swing with your Unison here.
He's only 9k, and I didn't like pitching any.
Oh, does he not gain on his +2 or +?
Could be wrong, but I think it's just -5 to an opponent's battle card.
Wow. Okay. I would have got that wrong. I was totally expecting a unit put me back a little bit. So here I board the Unison, and it's just a matter of sequencing here. You burned those buff pressure being on the board. I don't have a good way to get rid of those. And I like
I had played, like I said, a thing, so I was done before you just turned it off.
And here, your Unison has 4. I'm expecting like a Merciless Barrage Yamcha. So I'm like, God, like at least I can get the 2 draws off this, if nothing else. And so I'm expecting counterplay.
You don't have a lot of deck space for defensive options.
Yeah.
The deck has edges and 1 copy of Violet Rays. And that's really all you have other than your blockers for defensive options.
That's, I get it. So I play the Chappelle -1 to keep you attacking with battle cards higher than your current energy.
And you reminded me that it can't hit the table.
Yeah.
So I elect to fail to find instead and keep it in my deck instead of it going to the drop area. What would happen to that card?
It would fizzle, and if you searched it and didn't fail to find the search, that card would technically go to the drop area.
Okay. So like if I needed cards in my drop area for sparking or something, that could be a play, but
yeah, or like a future Overrealm.
Yeah.
Something like that.
But the fail to find ended up being the call for me.
And, it may have even been a decent option to just let it fail for the deck thinning aspect.
Yeah, I might have considered that.
So here, you swung with the Brawly, and I was like, what's its battle power? And you were like, you said very definitively in like a tone of like 4,000.
Yeah, well, I said it so definitively because 4 is so small,
Yeah, and so I was like, oh, okay, and like in my head, I translated that as, okay, he's not comboing, so I'm going to super combo rest mode lead. And you were like, hey, bro, wait, I haven't even done anything yet. I was like,
so we sort everything out. I go ahead and we both go ahead and honor the combos we intended to play and just kept on like nothing happened.
Yeah, absolutely. And so here you're pressuring the Chappelle. And at this point, he's tapped the energy. It slowed you down a little bit. The trick becomes, do I value the Chappelle's presence and combo out, or do I try to keep? So I think I try to combo out. So I rest mode your blocker. Burning 2 super combos there on that turn felt bad, but it slowed you down, and it leaves me with another battle card, which in Toppo Lock is extremely important.
Yeah, and it felt really bad for me going into your next turn, you having a battle card on the board. in addition to all of my stuff being in rest mode, which enables more of your card's abilities.
Yeah.
And I was digging so hard with those Reddit super combos because right now I'm wide open. I need a negate incredibly badly if I intend to survive your next turn.
Yeah. And really the good thing about Toppo is this early in the game, it is really hard for Toppo to go ham-tacular. I think like best that I can do is round the Vegeta up to 4, but you see us swing with Chappelle here first. So that line of play is not even in my head at this point. And I don't know if that is ever the right play here on this turn.
The Vegeta does so much for you. I could see valuing more markers on it, but you can't let my Piccolo Jr. get to 6 markers because even if I can only go get 1 battle card with it, I'm going to go get Fearless Pan and turn all of these little 1 and 3 drops on the board into real threats.
Yeah. Yep. See, I'm sitting there thinking, like, do I load the Vegeta under the Vegeta to bolster its markers here? And so I was like, yeah, let's get some draws, see what I can get. If I draw another Vegeta there, it's a no-brainer. Go ahead and load one up, keep one on the back end. So we're just swinging, pressuring the leader now, I believe. So got another super combo, always good. So that's your 3rd super combo you've burned. I've burned 2.
Yeah, so this game is already... The super combos are coming out. The big boys are on the table. There's big effects. This game is nuts.
Yeah. Bancroft, you want to pause it real quick?
What? Yeah, and pause. Hey, we're back. Sorry, I know you guys didn't notice the difference in timing, but we did.
We sure did. So here I've got the 1 swing with Basil, and I'm considering how do I want to move forward. I can really push with the Vegeta here if I want. And I realized after I swung with this Basil, I realized I made a mistake.
What's that?
I should have rested the Basil with the Unison's effect
to add a marker,
and then swung with the Vegeta. But I guess it really, the Vegeta probably it's net the same either way. But that would have given me the option if I wanted to. It's times like this that I really hate Toppo Lock's limitations. Because I would have loved to have played another card, rested that with Vegeta, and then gone all the way up like this, and then -3 swing instead of having to rest the Vegeta. But I guess that's kind of the rip on Toppo Lock and the balance implied. So I feel kind of confident where I'm at. I did say before that turn ended that Basil is still 19. Jake activates, targets the Chappelle.
Yeah, I forgot Basil's effect was for the whole turn, but Fluff kindly reminded me.
Now, so I burn Nimbus here.
Pretty smart to do it on the leader's swing.
Yeah. And if you had a swung with like a Brawly first, I probably wouldn't have. I would have probably held off on that. Now this sucks. Having you rip 3 cards out of my hand. I'm hoping very much so that you don't hit one of the cards and that you hit 2 specific cards because they do nothing for me.
So
you hit the 2 cards I wanted to keep. And you hit 2 of the cards I wanted to keep, and you kept the card that I really wanted to keep. So I got the card that I really wanted to keep in my hand.
And when you're selecting cards out of your opponent's hand like that, if you do just get bad picks, like don't feel bad or don't feel like that's what cost you the game. You have no knowledge of what's in your opponent's hand, truthfully. Yeah. So unless like it's like Red Broly where I know certain cards are in his hand because he's put them back. So Yeah, just don't ever feel bad about not ripping good stuff because it's basically a gambling effect.
Yep. So here I basically have to try to bait you into taking as much damage as possible. So the smart thing here is swing once with Basil, bait out your blocker. Then you're on 2 open energy. So I activate, I take the Vegeta up and then -3 on the Vegeta. Swing with lead. I have to try to bait out any negates in your hand here.
So it's combo from the board.
Yeah. And it's probably honestly my mistake. I waited. I should have waited to activate the Vegeta. Maybe you don't think that I'm going to do that and you burn a negate on that Toppo swing.
Maybe. I know you really enjoy the way to kill players with that Vegeta for it.
Yeah. So, 2. So, get this attack through on the Vegeta and combo with one of the cards in my hand and then tap 4 for Mecha Kabura, or don't combo on this Vegeta, threaten you comboing out of it, and then playing
I was
Mira
pretty terrified of. Going into that Mecha and boarded my 6-drop anyway and allowed you to just straight up.
I should have swung with the Mecha Kabura and make Jake negate or combo out a card in his hand, because Jake doesn't know it's in my hand. It could have been a super combo. Maybe he doesn't believe that. However, I was afraid of Jake comboing off that Brawly. Either way, that situation is a win-win for me.
Right.
Because if you comboed off the Brawly, I just +1 on Mecha Kabura, and then I have an active blocker on the field that arrest mode something if he takes damage.
And there at the end of your turn, I just max power and warp 4 cards to put it back in my hand.
Yep.
Yeah, that was I think the Mecha Kabura line is very what was I gonna say? Very pivotal to you closing out this game. And I think it's just a line of play you maybe didn't see at the time.
I did not. Well, like I said, I was so concerned with you. Like, I was trying to end the game there. Yeah. So had I done that, I would have been able to pick your 3-drop Brawly. It can't be restood this turn, which it already can't be restood because of that. Yeah. But then I also have on field, so +1, activate main, draw 1, so to put another card in hand, then choose one of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode, ignoring barrier. That card can't be switched back to active mode until the end of your opponent's next turn. Then he's blocker. When this card loses a marker due to an opponent's attack, choose one of your opponent's cards and switch it to rest mode. So basically, I let you deal damage to me, and then I rest mode your Unison, or I rest mode something coming in.
Yeah. So here I play a bot and go get a 1-drop Broly. That is how starved I am for energy and for cards remaining in my deck at this point. There's an argument to be made that, like, maybe I go get a 4-drop, but I didn't remember if there was one left in my deck or not. So I went to go get the 1-drop and try to close things out this way.
So here I'm asking, is there a world in which that Unison gives itself double strike with no open energy? And Jake's like, no. I was like, I still don't feel extremely comfortable taking that 1 damage. So I'm like, okay. And I'm thinking Man on a Mission is what is in my head. Like, there's a reason that he's now pushing so hard for me to take 1 damage. And there's just no cards in my hand. So you combo that up to 19. I would have had to have comboed 1 in my hand off. And then you have this double striker. And it's at 20,000. I think I can get to 20,000.
But I don't think you can beat it, yeah?
I can't beat it. Even if you don't combo.
Let's see. Oh, you have no combo power at all.
Yeah, I had none.
Oh,
like I said, if I could have. Like, on the life, you gave me a Vegeta. And that was just one of those, like, I mildly sequenced wrong. I should have put the pressure on with Mecha Kabura. I should have forced that negate then and there. Maybe you thinking that I had that. If you combo with the Brawly, I just activate it. I get another card in my hand, which maybe lets me live that next turn. Because I would have been able to combo past the Piccolo Jr. card.
Yeah. My comment when I boarded the Piccolo Jr. was, either way, I think this is the end of the game, Fluff.
Yeah. Yeah, that was exactly your comment. Was either way. Because either I combo out of it and it passes to my turn and I just swing combo kill you, or you deal the damage and I die.
The remaining cards in my hand are the Broly Secret Rare and just a couple intermittent chain pieces that don't interact with what I have on the board.
Yeah.
And that Broly Secret Rare would have came down if you didn't take the 6-drop from him.
Well, if I was allowed to play more than 1 battle card a turn, I would have gone straight into it.
And again, if he plays the Brawly Secret Rare, you know, I could take that with Mecha Kabura, and then he can't combo.
Right.
Now, the question is, do I survive the turn that he plays the Brawly Secret Rare?
Probably, because I can't attack with battle cards greater than my energy, or at least I couldn't in that scenario.
In that scenario.
You would have been able to, because you didn't do the thing with Vegeta.
Right. I didn't -1 on Vegeta. Yeah. I did the -3.
But the Spirit Fist stay on leader like it does for Unison per turn?
I think Spirit Fist is Unison battle card.
Yeah.
And it's only during your turn.
It's only during your turn, okay.
Yeah, let me pull up the reading on that.
Well, the world may never know what happens if that secret rare hits the table, but my goodness, was that a good game.
It was a very good game. It was a very well-earned game.
I know Nick, he was like, I gotta go. But he ended up staying like for half that duel because the back and forthness it was going.
Yeah.
So
and that plays back to, like, Jake is one of my favorite people to play against. And that's one of those times that I don't feel bad about losing. I feel like I lose a lot on camera, but oftentimes when that happens, they're merited losses. Like, Jake outplayed me. Jake had that one. Jake kind of bluffed me into making, like, I think we talked about it. There was a point that I didn't resolve one of your Brawlies because I didn't want you to play another 4-drop. And once the turn passed, you were like, I don't have the 4-drop, dude. Like, I could not have recovered that.
Yeah, I was like, we were literally talking about the game in that last turn, kind of as if it was already over. Because you were like, if you have a negate in your hand, blah, blah, blah. And I straight up told you, I was like, I do.
Yeah.
Like, that just goes to show how much respect Fluff and I have for each other as players. Like, we'll cut away some of the mental chaff for our opponent for whatever reason.
Right.
And try and make them beat us better somehow. I don't know.
And maybe that honesty, makes us play worse sometimes. I don't know. But I definitely feel like you always keep me on my toes in those situations. And that was literally one of those, I feel like had I swung with the Mecha Kabura, I think it changes the overall course of that game.
I think you win, actually.
Yeah, I think I win because I think it forces you to burn the negate, then I'm -4, rip your Brawly. Because you had told me after, you were like, yeah, dude, I wasn't even thinking about comboing that Brawly off.
No, I didn't even see that line of play. Because, like, I knew the Meki Kabor was in your hand because I had warped it earlier. So in any of those 5 or 6 attacks you made during your turn, I could have comboed the Broly off just to not take a damage.
Yeah.
But I was so intent on boarding that secret rare that I just kept it on than it should have been. And like, I very rarely think about comboing from the board, to be frank.
Mhm.
So that's something I need to keep an eye out for.
Yeah. I'm actually making changes to Toppo Lock. You didn't really see them there, but I've been running Time Magic, and I think I'm going to drop Time Magic in favor of Cocotte Zone. And shout out to Larry. Larry sent me a Toppo Lock build, and he was running for Cocotte Zone, and I was like, mother of fucking God. Toppo is a Universe 11 leader. You can run Cocotte Zone. Or it's a Universe 9. It's a Universe 11 leader. You can run Cocotte Zone. I feel like such a derpy dude for not realizing that sooner. Like, having Cocotte Zone is like having another set of Zamasu Super Combo.
Yeah, that's gross.
Yeah. So, shout out to Larry. Larry showed me that today. So, I'm going to profile this Toppo list, but I'm going to profile it updated with the shortcomings that I saw during this event, particularly against Jake. And then my friendly with Jimmy.
So, with that being said, thank you all for tuning in. I hope you all enjoy, like always, like I said earlier, buttons, pushing, stuff, finishes.
Yeah, do it.
Jake, last words?
If you want to win, you have to practice. And if you want to practice, you got to find a good opponent.
Yeah.
It's well said.
True.
I'll put that on the tombstone for you right now as your last words.
Thanks.
And fluff.
Yeah. Read your cards, know your place, swing with Mecha Kabora first, and like always, fluff out.